Well, hello, this is Rochelle, and thank you for joining me here on the Creative Retreat YouTube channel. Continuing with our Prayers of Boldness devotion by Caitlin Wernett for Creative Retreat, I am just absolutely blown away by this month's devotional, by May month's the decor stickers, the word, the alpha stickers, all of it is just right up my alley, and I love the colors. I love succulents because I've said that before, I can only keep them alive. So it makes me very happy to see them in here. And so I'm continuing on the second half. I tried to break them up into at least 2 weeks of study, sort of. And there are so many scriptures in this devotional that you can absolutely go over and work through a full month in it. And then if you add the reflection questions, which make you think, make you reflect, you get quite a bit of word. But this month specifically, especially in the sense that it challenged me to, I think I'm bold in the sense of trusting God. But boldness is kind of easy when it's in the easy times. I mean, then I can say boldly what I want, but it's in the harder times, in those times when there's no physical evidence that it's going to work out okay, that praying bold prayers becomes a bit more difficult. And then God gives us this assurance, like He always does. He says that if we ask, He gives, if we seek, we find, and if we knock, He'll open for us. For the background on the art here, I'm just using some of these very toned down mints and sage greens and things like that to make like an ombre acrylic background for my artwork. I'm going to be just doing a very simple terrarium, I think it's what it's called. It's the little image on the front of this devotional. And I see a lot of the creative girls on this team have done that. Saw the beautiful paper that Lindsay used in hers. We don't have a Joanne's here in South Africa, so I had to try and make my own. I just use washi tape to mask off that section so that I can get a nice clear crisp line. And then I'm underlining the verse, and I'm doing this in the Psalms, Psalm 145 verse 18 and 19. And it's so beautiful just how God is so faithful and true to His word. And I'm bringing in that it's the quote that is in this devotional in the reflections. And it is a quote on Matthew 7:7, where it speaks of asking, seeking, and knocking. But I had journaled on every single one of these verses already, except this one in Psalm 145. And so I enjoyed pulling it through so that I could reference the one to the other. And I want to encourage you to do that. Even if your page that you would like to do is true, Google your friend where your devotional is not, which isn't often. I mean, there's a lot of verses there, but if you really can't find a verse, Google search a similar verse and or journal it there, referencing it back to the original scripture. You saw me using the Creative Retreat inks there to just stamp on a white piece of paper. I wanted to make some masks because I want this image to kind of look like it's clustered without it overflowing onto one another. So creating some depth there because of the masking. So literally what you do is you stamp it out, cut it out fussily, and then put that over your image that you're going to have in the forefront, and then stamp again over the back one or over that one, so that the one that comes out now is half an image, it's masked off, and it then looks like it is in the background. And I'm just using first and second generation stamping here. I also pulled in this, I think it's called mermaid teal, I'm not sure. I'll double check. And the other one's called gargoyle. It's like a gray. I love this gargoyle ink. I think it's my very, very, very favorite. And so I just stamped those, and I'm letting them dry on top of this acrylic. It does take a little longer, on the acrylic, but letting it dry so it doesn't smudge. And then I'm journaling this quote by theologian Adam Clarke, which is included in number 5 of the reflection questions. And it says, ask with confidence and humility, seek with care and application, knock with earnestness and perseverance. And let me tell you this little sentence, or 3 sentences. The more I was reading them, the more I understood that, yes, I ask, but sometimes with confidence, but hardly ever with humility. Goodness gracious, and I was so challenged by that. And then I seek, but never with care and application. I mean, I apply myself to seek and find whatever I've lost, but it's never with care. And I knock, but it's never really with earnestness and perseverance. It's always on my terms. You didn't open when I wanted it opened. And so I was very challenged by this quote, and the more I spent time with it, the more I realized, oh my goodness, got some work to do here. For the art, I'm just taking my ruler and sort of drawing this geometric terrarium out here. The proportions and depth and all of that stuff, I've never been very good at that, even in math. But we tried, and it's just to create the idea of one of these edges being at the back and one of these edges being at the front. And at least definitely the little image on the front of this devotional is such that you could pretty easily follow it. So I have a Ranger Letter It embossing pen with a thin nib and one with a bullet nib. And I'm using those just to outline these pencil lines that I made, or cover these pencil lines that I made, so that my embossing ink will stick onto it. I'm using like a rose gold to do that with. I wanted it to look like those glass terrariums with the it looks like it's being held together by gold. I don't know if you've ever seen them. I quite like them, but that was the idea that I was going for, so I like the rose gold idea. And then because I just stamped that ask, seek, knock, when I covered my terrarium with the powder, some of it got stuck onto those 3 stamped image or words, and it kind of had this flaky flecks of color in there that just turned out so beautiful for me. And the imperfect embossing there actually turned out to be just gorgeous. And so it has this dimension and an impact that I thought it just made it beautiful for me art-wise. And so then I'm just writing the scripture verses, the referencing the theologian's name who said that quote, and giving it a date stamp for this page. And then I'm going to take some of these, sorry, my words are mincing. Take some of these enamel stars and dots and just add some extra to this page. I love these. They are not so thick that you feel it on every page like the Princess and the Pea, you know, forever and a day. But it's also not so flat that it just looks like stickers. It's really, really pretty. And the colors, like I said, they are just my jam this month. I love these colors. And so I used another one of those Fabric Sculpted Artist pens just to outline the little verse. I used this tab sticker, and this I learned from Lindsay, to just put some powder on the back, take off the worst of the stickiness, and there you go. Quick, easy page. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye.